Vice, but that wasn't.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the October meeting of the Greencastle Common Council. If we could all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Again, welcome, everyone. Linda, if you could call the roll, please.
Councilor Mark Hammer.
Here.
Councilor Adam Bowman.
Here.
Councilor Stacy Langdon.
Here.
Councilor Veronica Pedro.
Here.
Councilor Cody Eckert.
Here.
Councilor Dave Murray.
Here.
And Councilor Jacob White.
Here.
Next on the agenda is public petitions or comments. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to bring something up that's not already on the agenda? Okay, hearing none, we'll move to special requests. We have. I've told them I just wanted that. We have a number of requests, several that arrived just minutes before the meeting for noise ordinance and street closures. So the first one that was on the agenda is a noise ordinance waiver request for Old Union Barbecue. Is anybody here this evening representing them?
I did try to call. No one called me back, but I left it on the agenda.
Okay, this is for October 23rd.
Maybe they decided not to have it.
So,
Was that tabled last month?
Yeah,
Oh, was it? Was that one tabled?
yeah, because they weren't here.
Still not here.
Yeah, and like I said, I tried to call them to see if it was still on, and I never got a phone call back, so.
Yeah, they've got on here that they were planning on being here September 9th.
I don't even know when they're open.
leave it on table for now, if that's
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, I would make a motion to, I mean, I don't think we need to table it. Can we just, how do you
Turn it down?
say no? I mean,
Yeah.
I was going to say, I mean, I've been over there half a dozen times and they haven't been open, so I don't, not that that factors into this, but how do you?
The other option is, we could follow up with them, and if you want to give me the authority to approve it, if you guys are okay with what's written on the thing, and
There's not a name.
we'll try to get in contact with them.
But we don't know if there's alcohol, we don't
Yeah.
know anything.
There's not even a name to the event, or?
No.
Yeah.
Well, we don't approve it, it just dies. I think,
Okay.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Lori, what happens if we don't do anything? It just dies, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So we don't have to actually turn it down. We can just let it die because they didn't show up and we don't know anything about
Is
it.
that fair to folks here that it's left up in the air and was it approved or not approved? I would think we should just turn it down if that's what we're intending to do.
Did Jacob make a motion?
I did make a motion. I make a motion to deny Old
Okay.
Union Barbecue's request for a noise ordinance waiver.
We have a motion to deny. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Yeah. Sorry, I
I'll
was
have a
reading.
pulled pork the next time I'm there when they're open.
We have a motion and a second to deny the request by Old Union Barbecue due to lack of appearance. All those in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Any abstentions?
We have one, did you say?
One vote.
Okay.
Okay, next is Main Street Greencastle and the Putnam County Chamber. And I know Brian is here for Small Business Saturday on November 27th.
Yeah, Small Business Saturday is November 27th. It's the Saturday after Black Friday. And what we'd like to do is we'd like to shut down Indiana Street from Walnut to Washington Street. And we're going to have some tents out there. We're going to have some big giveaways for people who bring a receipt and prove that they're buying local. It's also going to be the debut of our new Chamber Bucks system, which is pretty cool. So we'll do kind of a match with our Chamber Bucks. You buy $25 worth, and you'll get matched up to $25 worth to spend locally and only locally. We're excited about it. We'll also have some snacks out there. We'll have coffee, hot chocolate, things like that, little finger foods. But we're trying to make it a bigger deal this year. And Main Street and the Chamber working together at it. So
You want to tell them more about the bucks? Because that's a big deal.
It is a big deal. So the new chamber bucks are actually a credit card. They're from Yifty, is the name of the company, and how it works is I go on there and I go to the website and I can buy Stacy $20 worth of chamber bucks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to buy your.
Why Stacy?
Buy a vote?
I'm the chosen one,
That's a
aren't
bad
I?
example.
Yeah, bad example. Bad example.
Hypothetically.
How
okay,
it works is then she gets an email that says, hey, somebody has given you some Yifty dollars. Here's your gift. She opens it up, and it'll have a list on there of all the places that she can go spend that money, which we can lock down to just our chamber members. And it's kind of nice because it's a MasterCard. It's just a digital MasterCard, and you can use it as many times until it's empty. And there's no term limit on it. So every month, you're going to get a reminder and say, hey, you've got $20 on here. Hey, you got $10 left on here. Spend it. And you can refill it at any time. Another thing that's nice about it is we plan to kind of target some of our industries to say, hey, you know what, you hit X goal or you are 150 days without having any injuries. You want to give something to your workers to say thank you. They can buy these things in bulk. We can customize them, and then we can put a time limit and say within 30 days or 45 days you can use these. And if they don't use them in 45 days, then up to 90% of that money can go back to the company and they can use it again in the future. I just think it's a great way to incentivize people to buy locally. So they're really going to be cool. Nice thing is on the backside, I'll be able to watch and say, hey, you know what, Monocles, you know, somebody spent $500 worth of chamber bucks at your place last year, congratulations. And so we'll be able to track it, and we'll be able to track, so if...
So it pays to be a chamber member.
It absolutely pays to be a chamber member, because if you're not a chamber member, these will not work. It has to run through your system, but anybody who's smart enough to do it, I think it's really going to be a good deal. So we're pretty excited about it. The old chamber bucks were great. They were just a little bit more cumbersome, and they were certificates. This is literally a credit card, and there's no fee to our members. Any merchants using it, just the regular credit card fees that apply anyway.
Sounds great.
Yeah, so we'll be doing that. We are going to be giving away quite a bit of stuff that we buy locally, and you know, we're trying to get people to shop a little bit early this season just due to supply chain issues, but hopefully this will be a nice little kickoff and get people buying local.
It doesn't specify, at least I didn't see on it, is it Indiana Street from Washington to Walnut?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just right there, kind of in front of Moore's and Crown there. It's kind of a nice central area where everybody can come. Yep.
Are you going to have alcohol?
No alcohol.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Somebody did bring up mimosas and Bloody Marys, and I said let's hold off on that this year. Let's talk about that next.
I do like the Gnosis, though.
Right?
FYI for the future.
Yeah. Well, you could take some chamber bucks and go buy some at.
Morris can get working on that.
Okay, we're good. Is that a motion, Mark?
Be sure to buy one for Stacy while you're at it.
I will.
Right, Stacy's getting them all.
Chosen
I
one.
will entertain a motion to approve the proposal.
I so move.
Second. Any further questions or discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, thank you, Brian, and thanks for the Halloween stuff.
Yep,
We'll be
thanks so
set.
much.
You're welcome to wait around and
Hey, good luck on that decision.
What's your recommendation? Your recommendation?
My recommendation is, it appears that most of the municipals are going Saturday. Personally, I would go Sunday, just so I'm opposite of everybody else, and you might get more people in. That's just me looking at the marketing side.
thanks, Brian. Okay, the gentleman from Phi Delta Theta.
Bill, can I make a motion?
Oh, sure.
Speed this up. We have 3 proposals in front of us. They're all noise ordinances. I have my reasons for thinking we're going to see a lot more of these. I would move, if Lori says it's okay, to adopt all 3 of these with the stipulation that ATO gets signatures for public safety, the 3 houses notify their neighbors, and they understand that noise ordinances are not free passes, and that all the gentlemen here promised they went to all their classes today. Is that kosher or is that not kosher? Lori's saying it's not kosher.
Technically.
All right, started to start. I tried.
You made all your points for all 3.
I made my points for all 3.
The discussion can be very brief, but go ahead and introduce
I
yourself.
tried.
If the event is open to the general public, the community, it's not just a social function for the fraternity, it is on cable access channel, you're welcome to announce that, but if it's just a social function, that's fine too.
So my name is Mason Meadows. I'm the president of Phi Delta Theta. We are looking for a noise ordinance exemption for October 29th. It's a Friday from 10 p.m. till 2 a.m. In lieu of Halloween, we are making our courtyard kind of a haunted attraction for that. Courtyard is surrounded by the building, our chapter facility, but it is an open ceiling, so there is the outdoors. So there's the reason for the noise ordinance request. This event will be registered through DePauw's University Event Registration Team, and we will also have third-party security as well in order to signify to monitor the safety of all students involved. It is a social event for the students of DePauw. And yeah.
You got all those caveats from before?
So it's not open to the public?
It's not open to public.
Open to DePauw students.
Okay.
Yeah. Tell your neighbors. Point any speakers. Well, it doesn't matter in your case.
Yeah, notify your neighbors. We come and we get complaints.
Yep. I did get the waiver signed by the Assistant Chief of Police of DePauw. He stated the stipulation on there that if multiple noise complaints are received, that we'll have to shut down the party. I promise to work with him if we get any noise complaints to follow guidelines to make sure we turn it down if it gets to that point.
It's just our advice is to tell your neighbors. I don't think you really have any.
The only one is there's an apartment building behind our house. I'll have to figure out who to reach out to there, but I will notify
Give them your phone number, you'll get less noise complaints. They'll call you, not the police.
I will do that.
But I'll make that motion. Are we okay till 2? Do we do 2 a.m.? Okay. Fine
Said
by me.
between 10 p.m. and 8 a.m. is the need for a ordinance. I should request 2 a.m. because that is the timeline we will have the security guards there, and that is the time of the registered event.
I don't care. I'll put up with noise.
Did you make a motion? I'll second the motion. You made the motion, I'll second the motion to approve it.
We have a motion and a second to approve the request. Any further questions or discussion? Hearing none, please signify your approval by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions? Okay, you're good to go with the stipulations.
Thank you.
Okay,
Do I
next
get a
is...
copy of the form? Or
Yeah, we'll get you a copy.
Thank you.
Next is the ATO house, and you guys still have to get approval by public safety, so...
Hi guys, I'm Jack Wysong. I'm a sophomore here at DePauw, economics major. I'm the newly elected president of Alpha Tau Omega, so I'm working through some of these kinks, such as figuring out the timeline in which the chief of police is here to sign these forms, which apparently today was only until 3 p.m., so I apologize for that. Similar to what Mason said, we were planning to have a social event at our house, only open to DePauw students in the basement, so that should hinder some of the noise. That's a positive, but just wanting to be safe with this waiver. Our party is, or our social event, is also from 10 p.m. until 2 a.m. Halloween themed. Again, following the same guidelines that the school provides for registered social events, we will have external security guards hired from, again, that 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. timeline. Along with that, we have to sign off with the school on certain rules, such as it being a bring your own beverage event, which means only 21-year-olds are allowed to bring a 6-case of beer or a 4-case of wine coolers, and those have to be stored. And so those events, again, we've done those in the past, and so we know how to handle that. Yeah, really, that's it, I think.
Any other questions? Or
one of the councilmen is your neighbor?
Gotcha.
My wife Sue, who's the former mayor, lived next door to you.
Okay.
Your son was also an
They have
ATO?
eyes in the back of their head.
As the newly elected president, I think you should get to know each other.
Your son was also an ATO here?
That's right, so you got that going for
Are you guys? Oh, is it Brian?
Brian, yeah.
No way. He actually emailed me the other day. Yeah.
But again, I would send...
Nationals rep now, right?
I would send an email to all, or a letter to all your neighbors. It will cut down on your complaints. With your phone number on it.
Sir.
It really makes a difference. I used to live behind Phi Psi. It helped.
Gotcha.
A couple of chemistry department folks across the street from us, so you have some DePauw ties in the neighborhood, and that can either work for you or against you.
I think we've learned that Coach Fenlon sometimes works against us.
Like Gigi Fenlon.
Okay, is that who it is? There we go.
You are on TV and coach is watching that.
Hey, in fairness to us, we reached out and we were stood up for a meeting. So.
Okay.
But again, DePaul, I believe they're open tomorrow, the police from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., so I'll get there before then sometime.
Okay.
Well, I would make the motion to approve Phi Delta Theta's noise ordinance waiver.
ATO.
Oh, I'm sorry. I already moved on. Yes, ATOs. That's right. That's right. ATO's request.
Okay, second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay,
Thank you.
bring us a signed copy.
What are your guys' hours tomorrow? I'm sorry.
8 to 5.
8 to 5, perfect. I should have asked that.
Here, do you want this back?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, next up is Phi Kappa Psi.
Here, Bill, you have his.
We're scribbling.
You want mine?
Can one of you guys check the little,
Can I steal your ATO copy?
Check the approved. Yeah.
we need Mason, give me a Mason one, so I can put an exit in. The first one we approved, that way.
You got them?
Wrote on there, DPU students only.
No, it's all right.
Hopefully that's not a,
Here, you want one? I got a clean one. Yeah, I got, this one's clean.
You're Mr. Lofgren?
I'm not. My name is Drew Hudgens. I'm here on behalf of Trent Lofgren.
Okay.
Good evening. My name is Drew Hudgens. I'm here on behalf of Phi Kappa Psi Leadership and the fraternity, and we are requesting a noise ordinance exemption for our event, Friday Night Lights, November 12th, from 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. This event will be fully registered with the university, and we will have external security. We will ensure, along with our security, that the event capacity is not over our house's limit. As well, there will be no alcohol present, and the security will also ensure that. We also, for our event, have a signed document from our university in support of our noise exemption request, as long as the required documentation from the DePauw Police.
Is that the night before the Moron Bell game?
Yes, it is.
Ooh. Good luck holding to those standards. You may be hearing from us that night.
multiple people.
As the stipulation on our, from the form requested from DePauw Police, if we receive multiple noise complaints, that is the stipulation regarding their approval for our event.
You guys should have the speakers outside, right?
We will have the speakers outside, yes.
Pointed towards, well, it doesn't really matter, but we like speakers pointed towards the campus.
Absolutely, and we will also do our best to keep the decibels at the nearest public spots at 65 or below.
I like that one. I'll make the motion. It's my district, so I'll move for it. Please tell your neighbors.
We will alert all neighbors we have.
Take a second.
Second. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further questions or discussion? Hearing none, please signify your approval by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Okay, you're good to go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You guys don't have to stay for the whole meeting.
Where's is Tom Hayden? Tom's next.
You guys don't have to stay for this whole meeting.
You're good.
You're good. Go study.
I don't have
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Okay, I appreciate it.
He's the
Oh.
Phi Delta, are you the Phi?
He's a Phi Kappa.
Need another one?
Yeah, Phi Kappa Psi.
I didn't write on that.
No.
Sorry, Tom.
Bad when I stay for the whole meeting.
Yeah, I know, you did good.
I have to study.
Okay, Tom has a street closure request?
But
No.
he did
And a noise
submit it.
ordinance.
He
He did-
did submit it, and I just didn't get it in the packet, so it's my...
So all I'm asking is for an extension of the road closure that you've already provided from Moore's Bar for their 5K fun run. We are also doing trunk or treat downtown that same day. So emergency services and other folks will be gathering on Indiana Street from Walnut Street to Poplar, parking emergency vehicles and handing out candy to those kids and families who decide to come to the trunk or treat. So we are asking for a street closure on Indiana Street from Walnut to Poplar, and on Walnut Street from Jackson to Vine, which is what we've done in the last couple years past, just to keep the families safe that are walking around downtown. Plus, there should be added, hopefully, a bigger crowd with the Moore's Bar 5K, because I know they're doing a monster mile at 5:40, I think, is the start time, and then 6 o'clock is the start time for the 5K. So I think we're going to join in with them and use the sirens on the police cars to start both races. So it's a win-win for the community.
Well, since there'll be a police presence already, I'll move that we...
And to be clear, this is an extension of scope,
Yeah.
not time, or am I wrong on that?
No, we're just extending the street closure. I think their closure is later than us, because they're not anticipating the race to get over till 7:30, something like that.
Okay. I will second Dave's motion then.
What was that date?
23rd.
Saturday, October the 23rd.
So basically, we're going to have closures from Washington Street to Poplar and Vine to Jackson.
Yes, sir.
In the 4 blocks.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further questions or discussion? Hearing none, please signify your approval by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, thanks, Tom.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Okay, I think that has all the special requests tonight. Next is department reports, which were included in the packet. Rod had to fill in for one of his league folks tonight, but he did ask me to mention that on Saturday, October 30th, the Parks Department is sponsoring Hunt for the Great Pumpkin. This is for children in grades 3 through 5. At Roban Park, they'll have 3,000 Halloween eggs and with candy and prizes for the children to gather up. And that is Saturday, October 30th at 7:30 p.m. There is a fee of $10 per person, and should be a fun event. Bring your flashlight and your costume.
What ages was that?
It's for grades 3 through 5, so it's for the younger kids.
We can't go, Laura. I wanted to go.
It's huge fun.
Yeah.
And it's well worth the $10 because you'll get that plus.
Yeah, they've got a good show.
Prizes are usually pretty good.
I just want to put a quick plug in for the Greencastle Police Department for Drug Take Back Day and big event happening at the Putnam County Fairgrounds on October the 23rd, Community Connect event, where several services from Putnam County are coming together to help those families in need. And so we will be there doing the Drug Take Back Day from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the fairgrounds. We'll have our own designated spot outside, so pray for good weather, because I felt like we didn't need to be inside, because those folks who just want to come and drop off medications don't need to have to walk through the building and find us. So we're going to be stationed outside. I know there's going to be a couple of pharmacies that are going to be assisting us and handing out items to those folks who attend and participate in the Drug Take Back Day. But we will be there from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. collecting any expired, unused, or unwanted medications in your cabinets. So go through this is a great time to go through your medicine cabinets and get rid of those. Do not dispose of them in the water system or your trash, please, because that's not the proper way to dispose of them. We will take everything that you have minus the sharps. We cannot take sharps. The DEA sponsors this event, and they do not allow us to take sharps because they dispose of the medications the following week that we collect. So if you have sharps and you're having problems disposing of them, I would ask you to get a hold of the Board of Health, because they have a little gadget that allows you to clip off the syringe part or the needle part, and then the rest of the part is a piece of plastic, and you can dispose of that just like your recycling stuff. So if you have sharps at home and you're wondering, please get a hold of your Board of Health. They can supply that and help you with that.
That's pretty much no questions asked. People can come up. If they've got the deceased relatives' drugs, they can just hand it to you, right?
Absolutely, Adam. This is no questions asked. We don't take your name. We don't take down your license plate number. You don't even have to remove the labels off your medicine bottles. It goes into a box, we take tape the box up, and then I transport the box to the DA's office, where the location that they have for us to bring all the meds we collect. They take them, and then they have them incinerated. So there's no way that your information is going to leak out into the community. We secure it at the police department under alarm over the weekend, and then I take it the following Monday to Indianapolis. So it's a good way to get the medications. This event has been very successful for our community. I did not put numbers together, but I would say on the average, we average probably 250 to 300 pounds. We've been higher than that, we've been lower than that, but averaging 250 to 300 pounds each time we do this event. So it's a great event.
Tom, can I piggyback on that? Because I was going to talk about Community Connect. Community Connect is a program that a lot of local non-for-profits, a lot of folks have been working on for 2 years. We were unable to do it last year. It's for families, people in our county that are in need, and this is going to be a resource for them. It is at the fairgrounds. It's October 23rd, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Outside, there will be the drug take-back. There will be gleaners. Inside, there's going to be they're going to be signing up people for the Giving Tree. So folks at home, if you want to get your kids signed up, this is the place to come. There's going to be free lunch. Opportunity Housing will be there. SNAP will be there. Putnam County Library, Edge 21, Circles. They're going to give free haircuts out to anyone who wants a haircut. They're going to have a haircut station. They're going to be giving out free gun locks. Work One will be there. Mental health services will be there. Addiction services will be there. They'll be giving out COVID vaccines. So we're hoping it's going to be a huge community event. We have a lot of volunteers lined up. We just need to get the word out. We're hoping the Banner does an article on it. And it's just a resource for people who have various needs in our community to come and get information. There's going to be a free lunch. And again, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. So if we could just get the word out, and hopefully it'll be a big success, and we'll continue to do it every year. A lot of planning's gone into it.
I just want to second what Stacy's saying. This is a really important first-time event. I hope people take advantage of it.
Right.
Centerpoint Energy, formerly Vectren, has brought this model to Putnam County, and they've done it in larger communities. We're one of the first rural communities that is trying it, so we hope to get a good turnout, but it's been very successful in the larger communities and been a big help to those people that needed a little extra boost in their lives to ensure their success.
And the Giving Tree is very important because a lot of our families take advantage of that. So just so people know, this is where you will go, this is where you will sign up your children for the Giving Tree program for Christmas.
Time and date again?
23rd, Saturday, October 23rd, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And some of it will be in the Rob York building, but then Tom and the Gleaners, and there'll be others outside. A lot of volunteers helping out, and we are hoping that it is a good turnout, and like Tom said, good weather, and just a good resource for people.
And Tom, we still have a box, if somebody isn't around on the 23rd, we still have a box at the police station where drugs can be dropped off, correct?
Yes, that is correct. Matter of fact, I just calculated the third quarter weight for that, and we collected 171 pounds this last quarter. So that was July through September out of that box there in the PD.
You also have a needle disposal?
We actually don't have a needle disposal. People will put them in there, so I have to find a way to dispose of them once they stick them in there, like EpiPens and stuff like that.
Did you at one time, or am I not remembering correctly?
No, our officers through a program have containers in their cars. Like if we get called or deal with a drug situation that has syringes or what have you, we can dispose of those and then get rid of them the legal way. But no, we don't have a storage container at the PD to actually just have the public come.
But as Tom mentioned, the Board of Health does. As a type 1 diabetic, I can tell you if you talk to most pharmacies, they're set up to help you with some different ways to dispose of needles correctly. So
right.
There are options.
I actually had a question, Tom. It may be a little premature. I didn't know if you were staying for the whole meeting, but I was going to ask your thoughts on the Halloween, the trick-or-treating. I know we're going to make a decision. I was wondering maybe from a public safety standpoint if there was a thought one way or another on that, or
for either Saturday or Sunday. I really don't have I don't
Okay.
have a comment.
It gets dark at the same time.
it's a very
I'm sorry?
controversial
It
subject.
gets dark at the same time.
It gets dark at the same time. You know, Halloween's Halloween. That I know that's on a Sunday. I know there's a lot of events. We were talking in the department head meeting this past week. There's a lot of events going around in the community, but I think most of them are scheduled for the 30th, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of the churches are doing things on Saturday. So maybe piggybacking on what Brian said, maybe the 31st would be the best, so that way the kids can go get candy on the 30th and get candy on the 31st. I don't know.
Get them through till Easter.
Yeah. Well, if they attended the Putnam County Fair this past summer, they probably still have candy. But I don't really have a comment
Okay.
either way.
All right.
I mean, I don't know that it's really going to matter either day. The 30th
I never
or
thought this would be
31st.
such a hard thing to think about. Whatever we do will make everybody happy, I'm sure. So.
Indeed.
All right. Well, I appreciate that.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Tom.
Any other questions for any of our other department heads that are here this evening?
Is John here? I didn't see him. I didn't get a chance to talk to him beforehand.
Did you say Scott?
John. Yeah, that's fine.
Would like to congratulate Jason as being a new dad this past week. So
Hey!
Congratulations.
And Jason, I'm sorry I didn't recognize you with the hat down and the mask up when you walked in.
Well, if we don't have any questions for our other department heads are dismissed and they can enjoy the rest of the evening. So thank you. Reports, couple odds and ends. We have received the grant agreement for our Okra grant, so that will be going to Board of Works next week. We are working on the Rescue Plan Act stuff. Those of you who are on the not-for-profit committee, I sent some information out. I think the part of that that's going to be a little difficult is how we handle the subrecipient language. So I've reached out to a couple of state agencies to see if they could provide some guidance for us, but haven't heard back anything yet. We have submitted the closeout paperwork for the Okra Small Business Grants, although monitoring with the grant will continue with the businesses for 2 years, but the financial paperwork will be closed out. Again, I'd like to thank our staff as we continue to deal with coronavirus. Next week, during DePauw's fall break, there will be likely work on Indiana Street to install utilities for the library project, so there may be some disruption of traffic beside the library. The Y project, the subdivision plat has been approved and recorded by the Plan Commission. We're finishing up the last couple of items on the construction management contract and hope to take that to redevelopment later this month as the next major step. Sidewalk work will be, for 21 projects, will be taking place later this month and early into November. Spiker was the low bidder on that project. The community crossings is finishing up on Tennessee and Wood Streets. I sent out a press release to the media earlier today. Traffic is still somewhat limited to the local businesses, but hopefully in the next week or so, the signs will be down and things. There's some odds and ends work being done, and there's some utility work still underway on Tennessee Street that's actually outside of our work. And then they'll be moving to Round Barn Road on October 18th, so that will be an area of disruption. For the phosphorus project at the wastewater treatment plant is complete and will be moving into action in the coming months. And we continue to monitor the IAC situation out there. The the plant manager that we've been working with has departed the Greencastle plant, so we're now working with someone else out there. Steve Sacchetta, who's local here at Greencastle, is our new contact person. And other than that, that's kind of just a quick overview. Been busy. We'll be working on utility budgets here coming up now that we've got the rest of the city budgets done and on the agenda for today, and working on a couple other things, so keep moving forward. Okay, happy to answer any questions.
A lot going on, as usual.
And Linda's probably going to share some information about our big event also on the 23rd.
Yep, Happy Trash Day. We have sent out letters to all of our utility customers, and I will note that in that letter, we also included the flyer for the event at the fairgrounds.
That's where I saw it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you're listening and you're planning on coming to our Heavy Trash Day, we're going to ask that you come in at the top of the high school parking lot and come on down, because this year we also have in the middle school parking lot, the West Central Solid Waste District is having, they're going to take all the electronics, so that's computers, monitors, things like that. It was listed on the form. The only thing that's tricky about this is they are going to take TVs. Those that are not city residents but live in the county can also bring their electronics there, but of course they can't participate in ours. They're going to charge for TVs there. But if you're a city resident, we are not charging you. You will dispose of your TV there, but you'll need to come through our line to get a ticket. And then you'll give them that ticket, and then you'll dispose of yours for free. If you get down there and they want to charge you, then you're going to have to come out and see us at the top of the hill. So that's kind of the only thing that's a little tricky about this is the TVs. But city residents, free TVs, you'll have to get a ticket or a slip of paper that says you're entitled to free TV. Okay, so that's really the
Can they get a ticket like on Friday? Can they come here and get a ticket, or do they have to get it that morning?
Oh, I never thought about them coming through the drive-through.
Yeah, that could be a way to help.
Yeah, we could have some, we can have notes here that you could, if you're planning on disposing of a TV, you can come through to the utility office and ask for your ticket.
And we do help people unload their own things, because it's been hard in the past.
Well, yeah, and we are going to have city employees there to help do that, but we do expect when you come to kind of help unload your own stuff, unless you're physically not able to. So,
and people with disabilities, we will make accommodations, and we'll actually go pick up certain things if you have a disability. They call here and.
Yeah, and that was all, information is all on the flyer, the telephone number where you call if you have a disability and need help. So we think it's making a big difference in our community of cleaning up. It actually keeps mattresses and TVs and things out of the ditches in the county. So we take about everything except chemicals and paint. No chemicals or paint, but everything else is pretty fair game at the Heavy Trash Day. So
somebody called today and asked if they could bring in their old toilets, and I said, as long as you unload them.
We're not touching those.
So anyways, yeah, so that will be October the 23rd. It starts at 8 o'clock. We're going to try also this time to have an express lane, so if you only have one or two items, you'll get to go through the express and get out, so you don't have to wait in the long lines, because you know what I mean if you've been there. Sometimes there's some pretty heavy-duty loads. So 8 o'clock, and it'll go till noon. And that gives you plenty of time then to also clean up your yard or whatever, and also be able to attend the event at the
fairgrounds.
At the fairgrounds. So busy weekend, but and then the rest is the budget, but we'll be talking about that down the road.
As we pass the baton down, I did want to mention that Brad's Department, Public Works, will be starting on leaf pickup in the next couple of weeks as well, and that'll.
They're still green.
Yeah, it's going to depend a little bit about how quickly they start coming down. So, but that's in the works. He's got all his equipment ready, And I hate to use this four-letter word, but he's also been working hard to get the equipment ready for SNOW. So,
Bill, the leaf pickups are on the same day as your trash?
I'm sorry?
Leaf pickup, I don't know why I'm wearing a mask tonight. Leaf pickups are on the same day as your...
Yeah, they'll follow the track routes. Usually, I think it's the day after or the
day of. Or
day of.
Sometimes
a lot of that
times
depends
they
on,
get ahead and they'll pick them up the day before. And,
it just depends on how.
Around your trash day.
Around your trash day. Just put them out there, but not in the street.
Yeah, not in the street. So, we've sent out a press release to the media, and it's been pretty well covered, so.
Okay.
Yeah, the banner says the day before your normal trash pickup day is the leaf pickup, so try to work around that timetable, folks.
Pass the baton to Mark.
Okay. I really don't have anything. It's just we've got a couple of really busy weekends at the end of this month, so a lot of good events going on in the community. So,
Just had a couple things. I know our water department's not here, but I thought I'd commend them. Our wasted water is actually pretty good the last month, and is unaccounted for water, and it's near historic lows. So that's something nice to see. Yeah, it was like 12%.
12%.
Yeah,
11% the month before.
So we've done really well there. I mean, we had a few occasionally at 9% or 2%, but 11 and 12, spot on. The reason I asked for John, and he and I will pull this together, I know last month we talked about the medical runs and it made its way into the banner, but there's another side to that story that I think we need to talk about at some point. I had lunch the other day and was joined by some of our firemen. The number of runs where our firemen are restarting hearts and actually saving lives on those medical runs is more substantial than I think a lot of us realized. I won't say they're happening weekly, but they're happening with real regularity. And I think, at some point, we need to understand that the medical runs we're providing are really important, and maybe even begin to think about other ways we can do even better jobs on supporting people until the ambulance and the paramedics get there. So I did ask John to begin to pull some numbers on that, but I think it's worth noting and understanding that what we're doing, the cost of that maybe is high, but what we're doing is actually saving our residents' lives, and that's cool. So that's what I got.
Good. I have nothing else.
I have no report.
Nothing to report.
Just want to commend Lori and her persistence on the contract for the Greencastle Wellness Center and Putnam County Hospital in the YMCA. A lot of issues have been resolved. I have a few things I'd like to stop by and clarify.
Okay.
And one thing that might be material, but I'm not an attorney. So I just want to say, I think we're finally there.
I think we are. We have some tiny little issues that came back to us today. So, but they're not.
Are you around tomorrow?
No.
Monday?
Yeah.
I'll send you an email almost all the time on Monday. Okay. All right. Thank you for that work. It's finally paying off.
Yeah.
And then we have the other ones to do. But they're almost done too, so.
Yes.
And I have nothing new to report. So.
Contracts ever in, Lori? For the record.
Heck, we're revamping our entire system, aren't we, Lynn?
We are.
To come next year. Big news for us, not interesting to anybody else.
Okay. Any further questions or anything? Or comments? Okay, hearing none. Next item on the agenda is approval of minutes, and these are for the regular session of September 9th.
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes for September 9th as presented.
Was that a second?
Is that a second?
Yes. We had practice this morning, very early, 5:30. That was the second.
Phew.
I'll try to make it a little more interesting next month.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes as presented. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, thank
I have
you.
a feeling that That's, in the minutes next month, it'll say that Adam seconded the motion by yawning.
Next item of business is the approval of city claims. So I know Dave was in today checking them out.
I was. There's a question after taking on a sidewalk trip hazard whether I can actually sign something, because I can't sign it this way. We're just trying to find out. I'm going to move that we approve these things, but whether I'll get to sign for it or not is here.
Just make your mark.
Who won the fight? The trip hazard won the fight. 2 emergency rooms and a hand surgeon in Indianapolis later.
Oh, gosh.
So, payroll, $486,880.64. Payroll pensioners, $18,508.98. And I'm going to go to direct payables. I'm going to start with a $10,000 check to Gobin Memorial United Methodist Church. We as council members get to designate up to $9,000 a year to support whatever it might be in Greencastle. And Stacy and Mark are teaming up with $5,000 apiece of the funds allocated to them. And of course, Gobin caught my eye. We don't go to a church, and I now know what's going on. Stacy, maybe you can elaborate on the partnership. And
Gobin funnels the money for an organization called Transformers, which a lot of us are familiar with. They do so many good things in our community. They have a program called Kids Hope that's a mentoring program for students in our elementary schools. Now they're also in the in TZ. There's also a mentoring program for high school students. They have another program called Circles, where they bring people along who help them with educational needs, help them with training to find better jobs. They too set up a mentor, and just a lot of good things happening with the Transformers program. The last 2 years they've had to cancel their fundraiser. It's a breakfast they do every year. It's usually well attended by the community. This last year they were supposed to have it in October, and it happened to be the week that the COVID variant peaked and we were in the red or the orange or whatever, so they chose not to do it. So I felt strongly that this was a cause we should get behind as far as the city council goes, and Mark Hammer jumped in and said yes, by all means, and we were just thrilled to be able to help them with their fundraising. Their budget is $40,000 a year. They have done some fundraising on their own. They still have some money to raise to get where they need to, so that's what the claim was. Yeah.
Thanks for explaining. Other charges that are noticeable: civil engineering consultants submitted 4 invoices. The largest one is $20,041 for the community crossing project. We've also done some surveying for sidewalk work on Jackson Street and Indianapolis Road, 2 different surveys, one very small there. First National Bank for police car lease. Bonavita Architecture for $59,776 on the YMCA Wellness Center project. We have Duke at $9,300 and change for several city bills and various utilities. There's one in here for $3,180.13 for Christmas holiday decorations that we do each year. And I think that's it under direct payables. Let me set that aside.
How much were the direct payables total?
Total direct payables, we're talking $176,643.84, which is noticeably less.
No, that's really small.
Under the Common Council claims, we have $18,014 for tasers for the police department. Monthly civil engineering charge of $10,895.75. Green Street residential maintenance, mowing at the park and elsewhere. We have a couple of Joe Spiker excavating charges totaling $9,375. Tree and stump removal in one case, and sinkhole and sidewalk repair on Ohio Street the other. The park also bought a new mower at $7,539. And we have an annual contribution to People Pathways, $11,000. And with all that, I move that the claims be approved.
I will second the motion.
We have a motion and a second on the claims. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And do we have any abstentions?
One abstention. I think I said aye, sorry. I'm an abstention.
You meant to say I abstain.
Yeah, I abstained. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Next, we can move into old business. The first item of old business is Resolution 2021-15. This is a resolution for IAC. The manager that we've been working with out there has left, so we've kind of got to restart that, so I'd recommend that just stay on table for right now. If that's okay. Next is Resolution 2021-10, a resolution establishing the policy by which members of the Common Council may participate by electronic means of communication. That was also tabled. I don't know what direction we want to go with that. Leave it on table for the time being.
We need to research some couple of items.
Yes, we're still working on a couple things there, so that should stay on table. Next item is Ordinance 2021-12. This is second reading, and this is an ordinance establishing the size of the departments of the city government of the city of Greencastle, Indiana, fixing salaries for the employees of such departments, and fixing salaries of certain other appointed officials for the year 2022. And I will turn the table over to Linda. She has made a couple of adjustments in the salary ordinance, so I'll let her highlight those.
So we should be looking at the freestanding one.
The new one that I sent to you, the relevant one in the packet. So Oscar came to me the other day and asked me about a change that he would like to have made to his department. And Bill and I talked about it instead of this. We thought it was okay. In the last ordinance, the copy that we read last month, this year he had a very successful kind of summer intern to help there, and it was very successful. So he would like to have that remain. So we included this utility summer intern to be added into the salary ordinance, and they would make $15 an hour. They are only here from like May to the first part of August, with the time they go to school. The other change that we made was to add him one more full-time person. Currently, he has an administrative assistant out there that he has found is very useful for her to fill in for the lab work, because people take vacations and some other tasks. And he can add some other responsibilities onto her if she would go full-time. And also, here at the utility office, we only have one person. When I first started, we had like 3.5. We're down to 1, which is okay. But we need sometimes some assistance on when employees take vacations and things like that here. And we do have a couple of days that are very heavy days here. So that person would also come and work some here. So, so his administrative assistant would no longer be a part-time, but become a full-time position. And that is the only two changes that, other than the verbiage, to read 20 full-time. We went ahead and left the 2 part-time in the event that the administrative assistant or somebody needs to go part-time rather than that. So we added that. So he has the option of the administrative person being part-time or full-time. But that's the only change that we made to the ordinance. And that doesn't have any bearing on the city budget.
Any other questions?
I would move to adopt ordinance 2021-12 on second reading. Correct?
Entertain a second.
I second the motion.
We have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance 2021-12 with the changes that were offered this evening. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, thank you. Next is ordinance 2021-13. This again is second reading. An ordinance fixing the salaries of the elected officers of the City of Greencastle for the year 2022. And there's no changes.
No changes there.
No changes to this one.
I would move for adoption of ordinance 2021-13 on second reading.
I will second.
Okay, Stacy seconds. Any further questions or discussion? Hearing none, if you're in approval of adopting ordinance 2021-13 on second reading, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. Next, also on second reading, is ordinance 2021-14, an ordinance for appropriations and tax rates for 2022. And this is the budget, and I will offer Linda's expertise if anybody has any questions on the budget that may have carried over from last meeting.
The most important thing is except for Dave, is to make sure that you do put an X next to, except for Dave, yeah. And he maybe can do an X. But please make sure your signature is the way it appears on the form, and put your little X of whether you're going to accept the budget or you're not, or you're going to abstain. So that's on the third page. That will get submitted tomorrow to DLGF if it's approved here tonight.
Entertain a motion to approve the budget as presented.
Can I ask Linda a question?
Sure.
So this is my second rodeo then, being on the council and looking at the budget. And just the biggest changes from last year, looking at the adopted tax levies, I was looking at the biggest differences in MVH and public safety lit. Can you talk about those two differences and why those adopted tax levies are greater from last year?
Well, in public safety lit, we're just spending more money. We do have the firehouse, the fire truck payment is in that for the first fire truck that we got. That added some more funds, and then I know we have got some vehicles in there to add to that. So we're just spending more money out of that. And that doesn't have a rate to it. That's just the straight. And then as far as the MVH, the percentage being higher on that one.
The levy being greater.
The levy being greater is we just needed more funds there. So we have a chunk of money, and then based on how everybody's budget falls out, we appropriate money to make them all pay. So like last year, we might have put more money into park or cemetery. This year, it's going to MVH, a little less from there, maybe a little less from general fund. So we just kind of
had a heavy cash reserve in MVH, is what you're saying.
We did have
a year
heavy
ago.
cash reserve in MVH. So, a year ago where we spent it down.
And does DLGF, the Department of Local Government and Finance, do they fiddle with the tax rates, or are those?
No, they do not fiddle with the tax. Well, what's going to happen is the tax rates that you're going to see here that are the adopted tax rates will be much lower, because these are based on a very, very low assessed value. They'll put in the right assessed value, and then they'll do the tax rates. So, and then the adopted tax levy is how much they're going to give each department, and then they'll figure it out with the new tax rate and all that. The main thing that DLGF goes through is to make sure that we can fund our budget, that we're not going in the red, or need to file bankruptcy, not with money, we don't have the money to do it. But all of our funds are very fundable this year.
Correct me if I'm wrong, the public safety lit is helping us helping our general fund?
Yeah, because if we did not
fire
have
trucks and police cars.
If we did not have public safety lit, we would be up a creek without a paddle. Yeah, it would be serious. That came into existence, I think, about 2014, The public safety lit, because it was getting hard to do a budget in 13, and then 14, and then, thank goodness, because we could not pay for our police and fire at all.
And some of the spending in the public safety lit may be money that we accumulated in preparation for some of these expenses that are coming up. Because it's like a non-reverting fund, the funds stay there.
Yep. And it does have a pretty heavy balance, because we knew we were going to have to make these major purchases down the road, like fire trucks, and they're not cheap.
I think the first year we had it, we really didn't spend any money out of it to build up a cash balance in anticipation of some of these things.
Is that a 1/4% as part of our county tax rate, or is it higher than that? I think they may have passed a small increase.
It runs about the same thing as edit, and I think edit is 1/4%.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we approve ordinance 2021-14 on second reading, an ordinance for appropriations and tax rates for 2022.
I second the motion.
We have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance 2021-14 as presented. Any further questions or discussion? Hearing none, please indicate your approval by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
A couple of these have 2 copies, if you'll just sign both of them.
Okay, next we go to new business, and the first item of new business is Halloween date and time. So Brian Cox and Linda Huber put together a list just so people could get a feel for what was going on. That's at your place around the community. There's actually quite a few holiday Halloween events starting Saturday, October 23rd through the 31st. But this is for trick-or-treating. We as has been made clear by Linda and several others on social media, the only thing City Council is approving is the door-to-door trick-or-treating. If a church or other organization wants to sponsor an event, that's their call, unless they need a noise ordinance or street closure request.
And you can't really stop people from going on other.
I was going to say,
yeah.
Indeed.
Bill, we have Angie, right? Angie in the audience. She sent us all an email regarding this topic. I apologize, I didn't open the email, but I've read the email.
Is this on the Halloween?
Yeah, and I was wondering if maybe you could come up.
She sent yesterday morning.
Yeah.
I missed it, Angie, so if you would.
I did not.
I could just read it, or
just
Just
paraphrase.
explain it. Paraphrase is fine.
Yeah.
basically, it's just in regards to the parenting time guidelines for Indiana for parents that have to share. Sorry, I lost my voice at Holiday World, so I sound a little funny. So basically, it just says that parents have to split every other year holidays, and the guidelines state that for Halloween, it's on Halloween evening you get your kid from whatever the trick-or-treating time is on actual Halloween. So if it's moved to the 30th, then those parents whose year it's supposed to be for trick-or-treating for Halloween, they won't get their child for like another 2 years. So odd years, even years, whatever. So like for us, my stepdaughter will be gone that weekend of Halloween, and if it's on the 30th, then she won't be here for trick-or-treating because we won't get to pick her up for the 30th. So we'll miss that altogether. And I'm sure a lot of other families are in that situation too. So anybody that's on that same schedule that we are on. Yeah, so I don't know if any of you have to do that, follow those guidelines, have to go to court and follow all that, but we do. And we would like for her to be here for trick-or-treating with her siblings, so I'm sure there's other people in that situation as well.
So my kids are 27, or they turn 27 tomorrow, as a matter of fact. But I did have a shared custody circumstance when they were young, and I remember this challenge, and certainly honor that. And I am in favor of putting the official, as it were, date for local trick-or-treating in neighborhoods of Greencastle to the 31st.
Yeah, that's what I would ask. I mean, I don't know how anybody can really question that. I know people might be mad that it's not Saturday, but I mean, Most of the times, it's not going to fall on, it's always going to be on a weekday for the most part. Next year, it's on Monday, the following year, it's on a Tuesday, so.
Well, it's been...
Are we always going to move it to Saturday? I mean, we're not going to do that.
It's been
Halloween's
11
Halloween.
years since Halloween's been on a Sunday. I looked back, and
Yeah.
in fact, back in 2010, when it was last on a Sunday, Greencastle did hold local residential trick-or-treating on that Sunday, the 31st. So at least we'd be consistent if we adopted that date.
Right, and there's a lot.
Is that a motion?
That is a motion.
The obsessive compulsive in me seconds that, just to keep it on the 31st, so.
I'm a traditionalist, and I think it should say.
Frankly, I appreciate you bringing that up. I've never heard, in all the years that I've sat in on city council meetings for one reason or another, that's interesting perspective to share with the council.
Because it's never come up, because we've always had...
We've always done it on the 31st.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of the other towns in the county, I said that in my email too, they're on the 30th. If people have a conflict with the 31st, they can always go there.
But obviously, it's important. You emailed every one of us. You came to the city council meeting tonight, and I feel we need to reward that, and I never even thought about it either.
Well,
So I appreciate you
We spent a lot
coming.
of time in court to get what we have.
No, but that's a fresh perspective that hasn't, at least as far as I know, hasn't been shared in the past.
I think it's important we note, like Bill said, and everyone said, we are not saying that a church, a community group cannot have something on the 30th. We have no jurisdiction over that. Unless they need a noise ordinance, we have no jurisdiction over
There
the
are
30th.
already 4 of those scheduled on the 30th.
Yeah. It's great that the folks have options. That's
Yeah, then
kind of
you have the whole weekend. I just was like, I can't imagine sitting at home with my kids on Halloween night and being like, sorry, kids, we can't go trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So we do have a motion and a second on the floor. Any further questions or discussion? Hearing none, please signify your approval by saying aye.
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 Any abstentions?
Thank you, Angie.
Thank you very much. Our last item of new business is Resolution 2021-17, a resolution establishing a capital improvement plan for...
You got to do the top when trick-or-treating's going to run from.
Sorry. What's been our tradition on it?
5 to 8, I believe.
5 to 8. You want to keep it 5 to 8?
5 to 8.
Is that, okay.
Do we need a motion, or we just...
Retroactive.
What's that?
Retroactively.
As long as Eric knows what to put in paper.
Yep.
5 days.
5 to 8. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, now moving on to Resolution 2021-17. This basically turned the information that we passed out the last couple months into the resolution format. A resolution establishing a capital improvement plan for the County Economic Development local income tax, whereas the City of Greencastle will have available to it funds collected from the County Economic Development local income tax, whereas IC 6-3.5-7, since repealed, required the adoption of a capital improvement plan, and whereas IC 6-3.6-6-9.5, which replaced IC 6-3.5-7, continues the requirement of the adoption of a capital improvement plan, and whereas it is the desire of the City Council to continue to adopt a 3-year plan to ensure the wise and timely use of the funds, and whereas the previous plans need to be updated and a new plan is required for 2022 through 2024, now therefore be it resolved that the City of Greencastle establishes an economic development local income tax capital improvement plan as follows. The following list of projects outlines the work to be accomplished in the next 3 years. Projects: edit bond repayment, relocation of City Hall. The last payment will be made in 2022, or that ends in 2022. Quality of life services and projects. Work to address homelessness, animal control, support of rural transit, unsafe building removal, people pathways, partnership with Putnam County, work at a Sustainability Commission. Capital investment projects, public works, sidewalks, neighborhood sidewalks renovation and ADA ramps, public works, sidewalks, neighborhood sidewalks new and ADA ramps, public works, wayfinding program, signage system additions and repairs, public works, stormwater improvements, public works, community crossings match, public works, garage structure, public works, people pathways improvements and miscellaneous repairs, that's parks, sorry, parks, Roban Park, Putnam County Comprehensive Services, maintenance services, building permit, software fees and licenses, City Council, neighborhood projects, law, ADA improvements to city properties, cemetery, Bridge Repair Project. I did add that. It was my fault for overlooking that in the draft information that was sent out earlier. Economic and community development projects, support of local economic development efforts such as the Development Center, Main Street Chamber of Commerce, support of the city's website, communications and email system, support of the farmers market, support of downtown promotion and events, support of downtown revitalization efforts, plantings and repairs. 5, economic and community development, miscellaneous projects, audit fees, election fees, mowing of city properties, other miscellaneous projects, Celebrate 4, July 4th entertainment, redistricting fees due to the 2020 census. Estimated implementation timetable, edit bond repayment, final payment in 2022, quality of life services and projects are all annual, including work to address homelessness, animal control, support of rural transit, unsafe building removal, people pathways, and work as Sustainability Commission. Capital investment projects, most all are annual, including the 2 levels of sidewalk work, wayfinding, stormwater improvements, community crossing grants match. The Public Works Garage, we'll try to get that done in 2022. What that is really a shelter over some of the material bins that are at the Public Works Department. People pathways, Roban Park, building permit fees and licenses, neighborhood projects, ADA improvements are all annual. Cemetery bridge repair would be 2022 or 2023. Economic and community development projects are all annual. These include support of local economic development efforts, support of city's website, communications and email, support of the farmers market, support of downtown promotion and events, and support of downtown revitalization efforts. 5, economic and community development, miscellaneous projects, audit fees are annual. Election fees would be 2023. Mowing of city properties annual, other miscellaneous projects annual. Celebrate 4, July 4th entertainment annual. Redistricting fees due to the 2020 census would be 2022. Estimated economic development local income tax funds. Conservative estimate for our cash balance at the end of 2021 would be $1.4 million. Certified share distribution, the most recent estimate from DLGF is $700,756. Conservative estimates for 2023 and 2024, $671,000 each. Likely they'll be higher than the $700,000. Estimated funds available to support projects and programs, $3,442,759,000. The City of Greencastle will pursue available public grant sources, private grant sources, and donations or partnerships in support of any of the projects listed in this plan. D, estimated use of funds, 3-year estimates shown. Edit bond repayment, final payment in 2022, $42,500. Quality of life services and projects, work to address homelessness, $33,000. Animal control, $33,000. Support of rural transit, $49,500. Unsafe building removal, $75,000. People pathways, partnership with the county, $36,000. Work of the Sustainability Commission, $7,500. Capital investment projects, public works, sidewalks renovation, and ADA ramps, $340,000. Public works, sidewalks new, and ADA ramps, $340,000. A wayfinding program, $30,000. Stormwater improvements, $300,000. Community crossings match, $300,000. Garage structure, $60,000. People pathways, improvements and miscellaneous repairs, $150,000. Roban Park, maintenance services, $30,000. City Council neighborhood projects, $189,000. Law ADA improvements to city properties, $15,000. Cemetery bridge repair project, $150,000. Building permit, software fees and licenses, $24,000. Economic and community development projects, support of local economic development efforts, $195,000. Support of the city's website, communications and email, $150,000. Support of the farmers market, $18,000. Support of downtown promotion and events, $36,000. Support of downtown revitalization efforts, $37,500. Other economic and community development projects, audit fees, $30,000. Election fees, $6,000. Mowing of city property, $75,000. Celebrate 4, July 4th entertainment, $15,000. Redistricting fees for the 2020 census, $50,000. Other miscellaneous projects, $120,000. Estimated use of funds in support of the listed projects, $2,937,000. Projects listed above require more than 75% of the funds to be distributed over a 3-year period, beginning with the first monthly installment of January 2022. Funding may be accumulated to implement projects or to bundle projects that could result in a savings through project management. 4, the City Council may amend this resolution from time to time during the 3-year planning period should conditions and the availability of resources change. This resolution shall be effective from the date of adoption until January 1, 2025. Passed and resolved by the Common Council of the City of Greencastle at its regular meeting this 14th day of October 2021 with the appropriate signature lines. We have to, in order to receive the funds, we have to have an adopted plan on file with the county auditor. Currently that plan goes to the end of this year. This will take up starting January 1st. If the plan weren't adopted, the funds accumulate, we would eventually get them. We do not forego the funds, but this way the funds will arrive on the regular monthly basis that Linda sees them in our bank account.
I move that we adopt Resolution 2021-17, a resolution establishing a capital improvement plan for the county economic development and local income tax.
I'm going to second that, but I do want to make one minor correction, very minor.
Yeah, go ahead.
Estimated funds available for support projects and programs on the second page, third page, is, there's a mistake there. $756 instead of $759.
Thank you.
$3 error.
Thank you. Typo, sorry.
Well, you can grab me that calculator.
I checked math on all the disbursements, and they checked out okay. You saw me doing it.
$3 for it.
So I will second it with that one minor change as long as Dave's okay with that.
And Linda does keep this fund in an interest-bearing account, so although the interest isn't really accounted for here, it does generate some interest that allows us to do some things as well. So we have a motion and a second to adopt Resolution 2021-17. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any abstentions or nays? Okay, thank you. That concludes our business for the evening, other than making sure we have signatures on everything, especially the budget document. So before you depart, let Linda check that to make sure it's correctly signed. And otherwise, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Oh, go ahead.
I just wanted to announce that Brian Poole is here, and he's our, it's just nice that he's here. He's the president of the fire department union, and so he's here.
You want to come forward and introduce yourself more formally?
He said no.
Okay.
Brian? Have you been back there all night, Brian?
Yes, sir.
So when I asked John to come up, you could have just...
I don't know that I'm qualified for that, so.
It's above your pay grade, right?
Do you want to mention any of the projects that the group has been working on?
We had our golf scramble that we have pretty much every year.
Now you got to come forward.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate the work you're doing.
Yeah.
I thought you told me you weren't going to do that. So this year we had our golf scramble that we have every year. We raised about $4,000 to send to the Hoosier Burn Camp. And I think right now that's it. I'm sure I'm getting a text right now of other things that I need to mention. But right now that's what we've accomplished this year. You know, with COVID, it's been hard to have a lot of functions.
In fact, we got a great team at the fire department, just like all our other departments, but because of COVID, we won't be having the open house. But if people still need assistance with smoke detectors and things like that, you guys are well prepared.
Yes, we have plenty of smoke
assistance.
detectors. Yeah. Yep.
So, if somebody needs a smoke detector for their home or things like that, we do have a supply of them at the fire station.
And they have a wealth of research and documents and policies, and so I've relied on them at times. So
yes.
Anyway, it's been beneficial.
In addition to smoke detectors, do you also have CO detectors as well, or?
We do not.
Okay, I'm just wondering.
I'm not specifically sure the reason. I know they cost significantly more, but we don't have any of those.
But just for the public record, anybody in the city or the township can come to the fire station and request a smoke detector.
Yes. Yeah, we usually give out one per residence per story. A lot of time, if you're renting, the landlord's supposed to provide those, and that doesn't always happen, unfortunately, and we'll do what we can, so.
So Brian, I commend you for working on a wonderful cause.
Yes.
But how's your golf game, and how much of the $4,000 did you raise personally?
Well, I think I donated because the golf, I should have stayed home. Sure.
And this is Fire Prevention Month, so
It is.
you would encourage everybody to check their batteries and their smoke detectors?
Correct. We've hit all the schools the week before fall break. Change your smoke time's getting ready to change 1st of November. That's usually when we recommend that in the spring and fall. So it's about that time.
Good. Well, thanks for the stepping up.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
You're never going to come back.
That's right, he said, I'm not coming back.
Nobody's gonna show us trouble.
Only when Lori's on vacation will you be back.
There you go.
Okay, I'll gladly entertain a motion to adjourn unless there's other questions or comments.
Y'all done having fun? Done?
Or it's going to get serious now?
We'll move to adjourn.
Oh, okay.
Second? Jake?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Always do.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the evening.